Hi, I'm Barry from Fully Alive.
Hi, I'm Tim from Fully Alive.
Hi, and this is another one of our chats about Qigong. Yeah, the third, I think, in the series of our chats about Qigong. Just us talking really about some of the stuff that goes on in classes, what we do. So Tim, we said we'd have a chat this week just to kind of unpack for people. Qigong sounds quite mysterious, doesn't it? Can sound all a bit woo-woo. Yeah. What is Qigong then?
Well, it can sound mysterious, and I think if you were to read all the books and literature on it, it would be mysterious. I remember reading the books earlier on, and it was totally confused me. And then when I came to our Sifu, Grandmaster Wong Koo Kit, he introduced Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung to us. I was like, it's obvious now. This is what it is. It's about being able to relax physically, mentally, and emotionally, get your energy flowing to help you in terms of your health and your mind and your well-being. And you can look at it as a spiritual system, but lots of people look at Qigong in terms of it's a bit like Tai Chi, but not so complicated. It's got that physical part of it, it's got the mind part of it, like in mindfulness or meditation, but then it's got this other part of it, which is the energy or the energy flow. And that's the part that seems to be really important in terms of Qigong as well. So really, it's just a way of working with your body, your mind, your energy, and your breath to improve your health and well-being.
Yeah, because I think that was what I didn't understand. I mean, we've talked, haven't we, the two of us, about how we came into it, you know, all this weird stuff that we started to notice happening in our bodies and minds. But I think until I learned from Sifu, I didn't really understand that all Qigong means is it just means energy skill, skills in using energy. And up to then, I'd noticed a whole load of stuff going on, but I didn't have any skill in using it. It's a bit like having a mind, but having no skill in using your mind. And I think that's what Sifu put into context for me. This is about, well, no, there is energy flow. There's energy flow in all human beings, but how do you get skillful about using it, really? And what would you say when you first learned from Sifu, Grandmaster Wong Koo Kit, what would you say for you was the first skill that you realized? Oh yeah, no, that's a skill in using energy,
Yeah, this one might sound odd or obvious, depending on how you look at it. And that was actually using joy as a way to get energy flowing. So when Sifu first came into the room, and he was, you know, a small Chinese Malay man coming with a bundle of joy, huge smile, and everybody just felt at ease. It's like, okay, so that was like the first experience before actually doing any formal practice, because I had again read and seen a number of stuff and seen stuff on YouTube and other places, and it seems like a real serious business. It's like, no, you must take this stuff seriously. He came in as a bundle of joy, and it's like, okay, having that, or in our practice, that smiling from the heart and just letting go and allowing that just to express itself naturally, that is an incredible thing. And to me, that became like a real special moment and realization for me. And then after that, things like Qigong. How about you? What was?
Well, no, I think it was the same for me. I remember standing in that room when he walked in, and he said, just smile from the heart. And I remember it was like physically taking like a haversack off. I remember the experience. It was like, And then him talking about, look, if you're going to do Qigong, then this is skills in using energy. So therefore, when you do Qigong, that's about developing skills in using energy. It's not about learning lots of forms and patterns, which he said a lot of Qigong became. But actually, like the first skill is being able to generate an energy flow, like turning the tap on and off. And I think it was like, oh yeah, obviously I have been experiencing this weird stuff, but if that is energy flow, then I need to be able to get that to flow when I want and be able to regulate it. And it was like from that moment on, it became much less mysterious. It just became, it was like a normal thing.
Yeah, it is normal, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
think the other thing I remember from practicing with him at the beginning was how little that he taught and how much of an effect that actually had. Because I was expecting also from doing other sports, martial arts and other things to do a lot of movement, learn loads and loads of different techniques of breathing. And the main thing that he got us to do first of all was just stand up, right? Adjust the body and then relax. And he said, don't worry about it. But what? So don't worry about it. Just stand there and relax and just see what happens. And then sure enough, doing that, things started to release in the body. I also remember not only the body starting to change, but what an effect that had on my heart and the mind and the emotions. And I remember a lot of the times just like tears welling up, almost like coming from nowhere. And again, the reassurance that came from him, which is when this stuff comes up, when emotions come up, when feelings come up, when lots of thoughts come up, again, don't worry about that. That's just all energy flowing.
Yes.
What a relief. What a relief.
And that's what I remember. It's like, oh my God, what a relief. It's like, you don't have to do anything with that. Actually, not doing anything with that is, if you like, is the next skill, which is using that energy flow just to clear out things. You know, it's like old emotions, old physical patterns, old ideas, you know, all the ways that our brains get conditioned into things. And then if you generate an energy flow and just let go, gradually all of that stuff just gets cleared out. It's incredibly profound. I noticed all kinds of things just leave me, stop happening. My hay fever just stopped happening. Yeah. Tons of backache that I used to get just stopped happening. Yeah. A whole load of insomnia. Yeah. And headaches, they just stopped happening. It was quite remarkable. Yeah. And you know, sometimes weird stuff would come into my mind and he would say, don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Yeah. Don't make a story about it. It's just, no, just do your practice. Yeah. And I think that because, you know, I'd stumbled into it, being able to generate an energy flow. And then I started doing these things before I met Sifu, which I now realize were techniques for developing the skill of building energy. And of course, building a lot of energy before you've cleared a load of stuff up. I used to have very strange things happen.
Yeah, me too. Funny you should mention that, because I was going through my books in the garage, and I found, so before I started with seafood, you might laugh at this, okay? I found this.
Cool.
So in this book, they had all things like, I think it's from like the 60s, 70s, and they 70s, and they had all the horse riding stance in there, and the three circles.
Yeah.
So I would do it every day, doing this stuff, and my legs were aching, and my body was burning, and I wasn't able to sleep, and all this crazy stuff was going on in the body.
Yeah.
The book had no warning about that.
No.
You know, it's just do all these fancy kung fu moves, almost like you'd see in the old 70s movies.
Yeah.
And it was hideous for me. And then when I met Sifu, training the Qi Kung and the Shaolin Kung Fu and the Tai Chi, it's like, no. Those stances are Qi Kung.
Yes.
What? Those stances are a meditation. They're a way of you building energy. Yeah. What? It was like a revelation to me.
Yes. And that is a real problem, isn't it? Because if you don't do them, if you like, correctly, okay, they're just a physical exercise that don't do much. But the problem is if you do them correctly, but you don't know what you're doing, then it can cause real problems, because then you start to get a whole load of energy build up.
Yeah.
But nowhere for it to flow or go. It becomes I remember it getting very rigid and stuck. And of course, I didn't know what was going on at the time. It was only later that I began, you know, with Sifu stuff, because, yeah, obviously, if you're turning the energy tap on and then building a whole load of energy in a system that's not really capable of handling it, obviously it's going to be like the fuses go. I sometimes I would stand there for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden I'd just collapse.
Yeah,
So
it's
like,
what
I
do
used to think, what the hell's going on?
But now it's obvious, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, if you're going to build a lot of energy, first you're going to want to clear some stuff out to make room for it.
Yeah.
And I sometimes look at that like, if you're going to get some new furniture in your room now, maybe you want to get rid of some of the stuff that's in your room before you pile a load of new stuff in there. You know, it's just going to be overcrowded and you won't be able to move.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel constricted. And that's how I was feeling doing all this stance training before I knew energy flow or knew how to clear some of the stuff in the body. So
Yeah.
big help.
So this doesn't have to be, I mean, it's like Qigong doesn't have to happen in formal practice, does it? It's like, they're just energy skills. You can get energy flowing when you're walking down the road. Yeah, that can be quite useful. You can kind of focus energy, you know, when you want to do a particular project. Yeah. But then we've also, so you've got energy skills, which is Qigong in general. And then you've got Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung, which is a formal kind of practice. It's a formal set of practices. Do you want to say, you know, I mean, obviously I know about this, but the people who don't know about this, do you want to say something about Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung?
Yeah, so the way that it was taught to us as well, and the way that we teach it in a very sort of simple step-by-step process. I mean, that's the first thing to get, is that it's not that you're going to have to remember a whole load of things, but it's built progressively.
Yeah.
So you first learn how to relax the body, relax the mind, relax emotionally, so that you can then get to a place where you could generate some energy flow. And then you learn how to do some Qigong patterns, and the Qigong patterns just open the way, open the meridians, open the joints, get blood flowing and get energy flowing. So then you can generate an energy flow, and it's that energy flow that starts to clear stuff or build energy and nourish as well. But at the beginning stage, really it's best just to clear the stuff out of the way. And then the important part that comes at the end, which is the meditative part, the meditation, the coming to stillnessing. So the Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung has the beginning, the middle, and the end. Yeah, and the beginning and the end part tends to be the things that we teach first of all. It's like, how do you enter the Qigong state of mind? How do you exit? And that's always a good idea. And it's like, if you're going to go into a new building, it's a good idea to know how to come out that building.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Otherwise you get lost.
Yeah.
Or you get stuck in the Minotaur's maze.
Yeah.
So Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung, one, works in this progressive nature. Secondly, it's only a 10 or 15 minute practice. That makes it super easy to fit in your everyday.
Yeah.
And you're working on your body, your mind, your breath, and your energy. Keeps it really super simple.
Absolutely.
So really anybody can learn there. And people that have been like put off from learning Tai Chi because they can't remember the long sets, but they want the benefits that you get from Tai Chi.
Yeah.
That Qigong is, I think, in many ways, a better first step for people, because it helps them get all of those benefits. You don't have to remember much at all.
Well, and I remember when I first came to it, you know, I'd done all kinds of kind of yoga practices, all kinds of different meditation, but some of them had been like an hour, or, you know, you're talking about an hour and a half of practice a day. And people would say, unless you're practicing an hour and a half a day, you're not really getting anything out of it. And I would try to do it, but then life would get in the way. But then coming to this, and it was like, oh my God, what a relief, you know. Somebody was saying, no, just do 10 minutes of this a day and you will get these benefits if you continue doing it. And it was like, fantastic. I can, for a moment, I'm going to drop all that other practice. I'm just going to do this. I mean, and it was beautiful. I mean, okay, both you and I have ended up going on and becoming instructors, but that was never my idea at the beginning. My idea at the beginning was fantastic. I got a 10-minute practice. I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't looking to be an instructor. I just wanted to practice to fill in the gaps that were missing from the other things that I'd done before.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing about the Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung is it fills in those gaps. So if you're working just at the body level, then you're missing the mind and the energy.
Yeah.
If you're doing meditation, you might be missing the energy in the body.
Yeah.
If you're doing an energy practice, like energy healing, you might miss the mind or the physical.
Yeah.
And so that Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung works on all of those three important points, the triple cultivation practice.
Yeah.
So that makes it super easy. And I think also because it's just like a 10-minute practice, you're more likely to stick with it. I think most people, when they first have the idea of going and doing something to change something in their life or their health or to deal with something, it's full of enthusiasm. They're like, oh, I'm going to do all this stuff and every day I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock and for a whole year I'm going to do this. And then 2 weeks pass and it's like, oh, I can't be bothered. And that's the nice thing with the Shaolin Cosmos Chi Kung. Over the last 20 years, maybe there's been 2 or 3 days in that 20 years that I've missed, maybe because we've been traveling and or whatever it was, but maybe just 2 or 3 days in 20 years, hardly anything, because and that's the formal practice.
Yes.
But the informal practice, which is what you've talked about as well.
Yes.
Actually, that comes in all the time.
Yes. And the only downside to the informal practice is, I know I used to kind of do it when I had young kids, and sometimes I'd just be doing it, doing something. Oh, stop being weird, Dad. That's the only downside. Yeah. So hopefully that's given people some kind of understanding of what Qigong is, just the simplicity. Yeah. Qigong is really simple. It's about generating an energy flow. It's about you being able to use it to clear things out, to build more energy or to nourish. Yeah. And of course, there are lots of other, once you've got those fundamental skills, there's tons of other stuff you can do. Small universe, bone marrow cleansing, Dantian breathing, tons of stuff. Yeah. But you don't need that to improve your everyday life, your mental well-being, your body. All you need is that fundamental practice. And I think that's what's been beautiful for me. So hopefully that has given people a bit more of an understanding. And we'll have a think about what we're going to do in our next chat about Qigong. Yeah?
Yeah, good fun again. So thanks very much.
Okay. All right.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.